Bloody
Why do we look like this? All right, I'm gonna try
I don't know.
this
But anyways,
wine.
try this because I don't know if it's okay.
I like really hunched
But I just
over.
brushed my teeth, so maybe it's that.
Yes.
Go for it. When was the last time you brushed your teeth?
It tastes really good.
Does it?
Kind of tastes like blood.
I think it's like the toothpaste like taste.
I think it tastes really good, but yeah, you definitely shouldn't drink toothpaste or
So,
toothpaste.
question: how do you get rid of the taste of toothpaste to enjoy a glass of wine?
Well,
What's the reverse effects?
semen is the anecdote.
Who's ready? What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to LadyBallz. We still need to get that down.
Yeah.
Yes, we're so okay. Well, we learned it's not a spirit finger. It's more of a grope.
Like underneath, yes.
It's
we're
more of
going
a
this-
cup.
But this is how
Like,
we
it's
would
like-
be doing it.
Yeah.
Please
Someone
bless
literally
me with
called
the
me
body
out
of
on my
Christ.
spirit fingers last
Terrible.
episode. Yeah. Well, I don't know what they're doing, but cheers, everybody.
'Cause she's
so,
Jewish.
Yeah.
We are filming live on a Wednesday with our wine.
Yeah.
It's already dark out. The seasonal depression is already hitting. Hence
Okay,
the
why we're drinking
medication.
wine
Just
at
kidding.
5
Don't
o'clock.
ever do what we do. Do as we say, not as we do.
Well, we're also here to allow you guys to take our advice because we're going to be giving some good value. So take it with a grain of salt. I think that's what you meant.
Yeah, Wednesday night happy hour never hurt
Yeah.
nobody.
No,
right?
you're right.
If you guys
You're
are all
right.
going through this weird time change
Wine
happening
night.
right now, it's wine night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wine and dine. All right, well, cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers to the ballers.
Wine
Ball
done
time.
in 69.
Excellent, guys. So if you have not, let's get right into it. Throw up that like and subscribe. Show the love on our page because we love you. And that was so cheesy.
And also, speaking of 69, Tara's making her
Thank you.
coffee one morning. This was like yesterday. And I go up to Tara like first thing and I go, did you know you can get STDs from oral sex?
She did.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't
That was
know if
something
I
I
knew
learned
that.
too.
Right, like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's safe because it's like
Yeah.
not
Well,
there.
no, because
Well,
if
it's
they
not
have
TV.
something
They
and
were
you're putting your mouth on something.
Yeah.
Right, it's still a hole into your body.
HPV specifically though, like if you have like chlamydia or gonorrhea,
Yeah.
like you're gonna catch that shit.
But HPV, you can't catch that with oral sex?
No, I think that's what we learned.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can catch everything with oral
everything.
sex,
So
which
wrap
really
it up.
freaks me out.
So guys and girls, like, this is a lesson for you.
Yeah, if you didn't know, now you know. What a bummer. I guess we should talk about something happy.
Yes.
Anyone have some good news? What's the hype of the week?
I'll let you go, T. I feel like you've got some hype for the week.
So we were celebrating Ashley's lovely birthday.
I feel like my birthday's been going on for so long.
I feel like it hasn't even happened
2
yet.
weeks
too.
later.
And we were out partying, you know, just like pre-gaming, having a good time, went out to the club, and what do you know, my phone gets taken out of my purse. What? Okay, so that happened.
Like humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's okay. We're good. Everything's okay. I think that's my only gripe of the week. I can't think
You
of
handled
anything.
it so well. Like, some people would really, like, sit and, like, just dwell or would have left right away. But this girl, she was like, you know what?
Oh.
It's Ashley's birthday. My phone's gone. What am I going to do about it? Might as well just keep having fun.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I love
she was
that.
a trooper.
I was still party rocking, shaking my ass on the
Party
dance
rocking.
floor, you know, like it ain't no thing. And yeah, so that was my gripe for the week. And I would say my hype, I'm excited. I'm making pot roast tomorrow night. I don't know if y'all love pot
We're
roast.
excited.
We're getting into
We're
the
more
fall
excited than she
season, and I am throwing down. That is what I love to
Chef T.
do.
She
So,
loves to cook.
yeah.
Can
I'm
you put the
excited for that.
spice in it?
Oh, I'm
All
gonna
the
spice it
spices.
up. Oh,
We'll
yeah,
put the
it's gonna be
recipe
very
up
flavorful.
too for y'all.
We can do that. Yeah, T's pot roast. Yeah.
Unless it's like a sacred
We love
SpongeBob
that.
plankton, can't get the secret recipe, Krabby
Ooh,
Patty
yeah.
kind of situation.
Totally. Okay.
Or it's like mom's recipe
Yeah.
where it, like, only
Right.
stays in the family.
Right.
Which one?
We'll taste it tomorrow and then let you know.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah,
honestly,
we should do a review.
We should
should,
because this is my first time making it.
Okay.
Ooh, that'll be
cool.
the best time then.
I know.
We'll go for, and this is exciting for me because you're using what kind of meat?
It's like a chuck roast.
Chuck roast. I don't know what
Yeah.
that means.
What animal
I
is
had
that?
to ask for help today
Yeah.
at the grocery store. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm making pot roast. What is my
Who is
best
chuck?
cut of
I
meat?
don't know.
Who's chuck? I
Yeah.
don't know, but
the chuck
I'm
is.
here
Is he a
for
cow?
it.
Yeah.
What's the chuck?
I've only been eating chicken since coming back from pescatarian, so this is going to be really exciting. Actually, no, I ate quail the other day.
Yeah, you did.
That was weird. I took like a bite and was like, I'm good, thanks.
Even
But
I
I'm
give you
open to
credit.
trying, and I'm sure that it will be delicious, so I'm very excited. Steph, should we go into, maybe let's start with the hype with Steph and then go into the gripe, I feel like.
My gripes.
Get the wine.
Gripes with plural.
Yeah, plural.
So yesterday I got my period, which is also a really big
That's a
hype because
hype.
it's
It
like
is.
my second 30-day cycle. But the gripe is that I'm a little bit more emotional. I'm dizzy. I'm lightheaded. I lose a lot of blood out here.
I feel like girls are like in the bathroom, like having life decisions being made about how am I gonna go through the rest of my day at this point. I'm on a day one sort of flow.
It's freaking disgusting.
Do you need some more wine?
Yeah, it looks the same. But ew. Anyway, cut that. And then my other gripe, okay, I guess there's a few. One of my gripes was that last night I got into my first little car accident situation. Got hit on the highway. We were both merging into the same lane at the same time. It was just like, bam. So my car looks worse than I do, thank God. So at least that's the case. And it was my driver's side, so I'm so lucky and I'm just so fortunate. But it definitely took a little emotional toll on me. I'm like such a deep person, and I feel like last night I just woke up at 3:30 and I couldn't sleep, and I just keep thinking about how weird life is and how you have these 5, 10, 15-year plans and you have visions, and then it's like you sit back and realize, wait, we aren't promised anything. I don't even know if I'm going to see tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to see this afternoon. So that just really has weighed on me, but I also am allowing myself to feel sad because I think I used to beat myself up for that, and I used to feel weak and ashamed. And I had to really just be honest with myself and be like, not everyone has a good day every day. And if you want to feel sad, you don't have to feel bad about feeling that way. And yeah, I would say that was my gripe. Is there another gripe that I just don't remember?
So
I mean,
grateful
yeah.
that you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
also,
grateful.
another hype, because I'm like overly positive as a person, I live with 2 of the best people ever. I didn't even tell them where I was because I was on the phone with the cops and everything. And I ended up driving home in the rain. It was like pouring rain. These 2 ventured out. I got home. I'm like, where did they go? Did they go out to the bar? Maybe they did something fun. I don't know. I thought you
Steph
just
got in an accident.
Yeah, to the bar.
like,
Hope you're okay, babe.
drink this off. Oh God. But yeah, they were gone, and I was like, where did they go? And I saw a text saying we're on our way, and it just like, I felt so bad because I was already home, but my heart's so full. To have a family here in San Diego and just people that look out for you and having people to call when something like this happens, like it just means everything.
Yeah, no, seriously, we're so grateful that you are okay. And like we say, like, you know, it's always kind of looking at the positives, right? Like it could have been so much worse, but not neglecting it because it is a scary thing that happened to you. But it's one of those things where, like, you text us you're home, and all we were like, even though it's raining and pitch black, and I'm at the steering wheel, like, I wish I had my glasses on. I can't see shit. So bad. Oops.
We're like, where is she?
Yeah, where is she? We're going in circles on GPS. But, like, once we got that text, we're like, thank God. All right, let's go home. And we're just so happy to see you in one piece.
Yeah.
And, again, just... it's okay to feel those emotions and to not feel like you have to have it all together all the time. And I think that's like such a good way to like kind of segue into maybe what we're going to talk about today is, you know, that fear. Well, we're going to be talking a lot about self-love, and you're going to see self-love be a big topic in a lot of our episodes coming. But I really want us to focus on that fear of showing up as your true self. And it relates like showing up and allowing your true emotions to play out loud instead of feeling like you have to be perfect all the time or happy all the time. Like I remember the first time we moved in together. I probably was just going through one of my days where I woke up and I wasn't like sunshine and rainbows. And Steph was like, it's so good to see you not in like the best mood. Like you're a normal human being. And I was like, yeah, like I'm always happy, but like I go through the emotions too.
It's so beautiful. And there's that idea of the duality of love within yourself, and it's loving both parts of you, the parts that are dark and the parts that are also light. And it's they're not, one's not worse than the other, they're just different, you know.
We
So
love emotions in this house.
Yeah,
just
we
like
do.
letting them out, like crying. I mean, I feel like I'm the biggest crier out of. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to take the cake.
You guys
on
don't see
that,
me on my
but,
phone
like,
with my mom.
when we're watching our show, I'm crying in the
I always
corner.
look
They'll look
over.
over at me like,
Yes.
she crying? Yeah.
You win the award for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we like that, and we
do.
want to let that
welcome
out.
that.
Like we do welcome that. It's hard because like we're taught to just grow up and be these strong, like independent women. Even men are taught to be strong, and it's like we all have emotions. And it's healthy to express them, and it's unhealthy to suppress and repress them, you know, because then that like shows up in the body in other ways, so many other ways. So yeah, we do welcome emotions in this house, and when we are going through the feels, like we appreciate that, and it does show that we are all human. Like we feel
not
things,
robots.
you know.
No.
Yeah, because I mean, I went through a point in my life where I was like completely numb to everything and not feeling things.
Isn't that
and
scary?
It's terrifying.
It's scary.
Literally terrifying. Like being like, wow. I don't remember the last time that I like laughed or cried or laughed genuinely. Like I would have like so many different laughs.
Fake laughs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Because it's like you feel like you need to. I would say LOL all the time. Like
Me
literally
too.
say
LOL.
LOL instead of actually doing
Laugh,
it.
right.
Like that's terrible. So
Yeah, I think like that's what I love so much is I get told all the time like I show all of my emotions on my face, and I'm like, yeah, so you know,
hide it.
no, I don't, and I think that's what I learned is like don't lie about how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, say what you want to say. And obviously it come across like I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but it's like I want to be so authentic and real. And it's like if something bothers me, I want to be able to share and express that. Or if someone's making me feel so good, I want to share and express that. And so I think like,
That's a really important thing, actually, that you do that.
like appreciating the spectrum of
Yeah.
emotions and like feeling the spectrum of emotions.
Feeling like if I ever give you that look, like, what's that mean?
Yeah. That's so true because I think inflammation and pain is just unexpressed emotions, things that are trapped in us. And so I don't know you that long, but I don't feel like you have that many like chronic illnesses or inflammation and things like that. And I wouldn't say it's all due to this, but I think it could be that you really do express everything that you're feeling in that moment instead of like acting or fighting it, or, you know, I'm sure it took work and I'm sure you weren't always like that, but I do think you're really great at that.
And that's so good that you pointed on that, is because I wasn't always like that. I went through a big phase of my life where I did feel like I was not being my true authentic self. And it wasn't until I started my own self-love journey and healing journey and traveling and doing all those things to develop, and like as cliche as it sounds, like I always say to people, it really helped me find myself.
Yeah.
And before that, it was trying to fit in, trying to look apart, sound apart, be this like person, be this perfect person that, you know, one, I was so far from perfect, and I didn't even know who I was. And it feels so much better just showing up so confidently. And like, I love that we just talked about that, because that's exactly like what I want us to dive into is, you know, in T or Steph, like whoever wants to jump in first, it's like, do you still feel like you are not showing up in your most true, authentic self? Do you feel like you hide behind this like perfect wall that you need to be? Or are you being your true, authentic self?
I feel like, do you want to?
No, please.
Okay, mama.
She's got a train of like engine hauling over there.
Didn't have to cut me off. We were nothing.
I love music.
Yes.
So I think there's always, I mean, I'm always learning something about myself every day. So I think there's always like ways to kind of like dig deep and find different parts of you to be able to express. But I've done a lot of work on myself and like sat with myself and in the uncomfortable things where just like there was always so much chaos in my life. So I took that time to slow down, because I loved self-destructing, and when there wasn't chaos going on, I would create it.
Yeah.
Right.
What can I destroy?
What
problems?
Yeah.
Solve.
What can
Everything's
I
going
do?
right. What can I make wrong?
Yeah.
It's really like,
So,
go.
what?
Why did I just do that? I was like, ah! ADHD brains often create problems to solve, because when there isn't one, it's like your brain's bored. And so I don't know if you've done that too, but I've done that where I just always want something to solve. And once I solve something, I'm like, what's the next thing? And if there's nothing there that's in front of my face, I will create a problem and
To do it.
Totally.
Oh, we all have ADHD in this house too.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brain is like,
Yeah. Same. So
Literally.
distracted always.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I've definitely dealt with that, like creating things where there's nothing there, and I'm just like, what can I do? Yeah, what problem can I solve? And just like, why is this happening? What's going on, or whatever. I don't even know where I was going with that,
That's my fault.
but no, you're
No, it
not.
is.
You're
Me
not.
impulsive.
But it's just like,
Do you think that like you need to destroy something that's going good for you just to be able to like have something to work on? Or like, when do we reach that level of like happiness, of like kind of like that settlement or content feeling, that comfort of like, you know, life is really good and I'm doing really well. The people around me are doing so great. Like, and I'm so happy, instead of
That like
being like,
scares me.
yeah, so many times people destroy like what is going so good.
that's something I've worked on a lot with my therapist, which I'm so grateful for my girl. But yeah, I mean, I guess I definitely used to do that. Like, I would like totally self-destruct. I'm like, this is going so great. Like, where are the problems? But being able to heal that, and I'm still healing that. Like, that's like a lifelong journey. Being able to heal that, and like I said, like sit with that discomfort and sit with situations and feelings and things that I'm not used to. Like, it's not chaotic. What is this? Like, why does it feel, why does life feel so calm
Stillness
right now?
is some of the most frightening things to people that have gone through chaos. Like, peace is chaos to us, you know, because we're used to constant chaos. That's our baseline. So when things are still, we're just waiting for a shoe to drop. We're like, well, this can't be right. Something's going on here. This is spooky.
It's like, or it's like I just get so bored. It's
Right,
like,
when you,
Right.
yeah,
to,
and
like,
I think
switch
when
it
you
up.
said, you said, why do we do this when life can be, if life is going so well and everything's going well? When you were saying that, I was noticing how I felt in my body, and I was like picking up your energy too, where I was like, ooh, like, like imagining that, you know what I mean? Like nothing to solve, just kind of like being. I'm like,
yeah, which is what you have a
what
lot to talk about.
all
So,
of us, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Keep going. Or whatever you were, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You good?
Yeah, you're fine. I was just gonna say, like,
Let's
the why. Like, I know that's something that, like, we all struggle with,
Yeah.
but just like questioning, it's always like, well, why is this happening? Like, why is this going on? And I would get in such loopholes where I would drive myself absolutely insane trying to figure out why. And that was something where I literally just had to like sit back and surrender and be like,
Don't know.
I don't need to know why. And there are a lot of things that we're not going to know why, because that's just our brain trying to solve the problem. And sometimes there are a lot of things.
How dare you
Yeah.
set the car alarm off? We're shooting. Thank you.
Anyway, rude interruption. So now I finally learned to just like surrender, and I'm like, oh, this could be it. This could be it. Like, I definitely still like question things, but I'm not like compulsively thinking about it and driving myself insane.
Yeah.
Because that was a huge problem that I struggled with, was just getting in that like spiral cycle.
Right.
I think that's where it's like having that go with the flow energy that sometimes make it easier. Yeah, where it's like sometimes I just really love like the unknown, and it's like, well, let's just see what's gonna happen, or let's just see what comes from this. And I think when you overthink things, or you have to plan everything to the T and you have to know why to everything, it's like it causes so much chaos in our brains. So it could be a little good practice to just step back and be like, you know what? I'm going to put the brakes on this one. I'm just going to go with the flow and see how this feels.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's pass the baton over to you, Steph. I feel like your engine's been going over there. Would love to hear your thoughts around the way self-love, or the lack of self-love, has been showing up into your life with masking how you're showing up, or am I being my true authentic self?
Am I being my true authentic self? Yeah, Tara, we're very similar in our brains, and just the rabbit holes, the spirals, and like the need to know why, the control. But in regard to me showing up as my authentic self, I realized this past week that for most of my adolescence and adulthood, I have not been showing up as my authentic self. And this kind of came to fruition from my therapy session last week, and just really understanding how my mind works a little bit better. And I thought back to who I was as a child, and I just completely abandoned that girl because she wasn't cool. She did not wear things that were stylish. She wore things that were comfortable because she had textile sensitivity, and just was really sensitive to sounds and energies, and I was really sensitive to a lot of things. And I feel like I learned that who I was wasn't going to cut it in terms of socialization, in terms of being cool, in terms of getting the career I wanted, in terms of getting the attention that I had never had, because I wasn't cool, I wasn't pretty, I wasn't attractive, I wasn't sociable, I was isolating, I was always alone in the corner in the classroom. When they said partner up, I literally wanted to like crawl into a hole. I hated that. Like, I just wanted to be alone and over in my corner. And so I learned what I had to do to become successful in terms of socializing, and all I would do was mirror what I saw. So I would watch how someone would interact with someone. I'm like, ooh, that rubbed that person the wrong way, like don't ever do that. And I would just take these notes, and I learned how to be able to become this version of myself that I thought was gonna achieve all the things that I wanted. And through it all, the past few years, I was living the dream I thought I had. There was a time where I was a fitness influencer, and my only job was to like post videos and record myself working out, and I hated it. And, you know, I've tried TikTok so many times. I've tried being on social media more, creating content, and I just don't like it. And I'm also, you know, I was showing up to all these dates with a full face of makeup on, and which I guess you do on a first date, but the problem was all I would go on were first dates, or like first, maybe third dates, and I never allowed myself to get close to someone. So essentially, no one ever saw the real me
the nerdy me, the me that never wears makeup and wears oversized everything, and just like that true introverted, nerdy human. And so by dating all these guys when I first got here that, you know, I only saw a few times, they were all liking that version of me, and I knew inside I was like tricking them because it wasn't really me. And all it did was lead me to believe that the real me, the raw me, the unpolished me was not good enough, because they were all responding so positively to the girl that was polished and wore all the makeup and acted so confident and like so well spoken. But I'm not. Like I slip up my words all the time. I have brain freezes. I ramble. I spit out facts of studies that no one freaking cares about. Like I hid that version from mostly everyone that didn't get to see me on a daily basis. So I wasn't showing up as my authentic self, and I was kind of tricking myself that I was. But when I strip it all back, like I am nothing like the person that I've been, especially on social media. And yeah, that's like a hard realization when you realize you've been acting, and all it does is make you love yourself less, because you think now that you're getting all this attention and gratification that this fake version of you is better than the real you. Yeah. And it's like completely twisted my mind in half. Like I'm like, oh God, I'm like so deep in this. Yeah. Like I wasn't used to any attention growing up. Yeah. And then it's like, now my brain's like, but they all love this version of me now that isn't real. So like, what do I do? Keep playing the character? Yeah. And then I realized that's freaking exhausting, and your body will start making you sick if you're playing a character that your whole life. And one of my favorite quotes by Jim Carrey is that depression is when your body gets tired of playing a character. And it's so true. Like all
like
of those famous comedians. Yeah, like, you know, Robin Williams, these great comedians that commit suicide. Yeah. It's because everyone loves them for their humor and their comedy and they're funny, but no one realizes the pain that they're going through on the other side of all of that.
Right, and I think we see that so many times with celebrities. Like, you know, it's we grow up with these characters, but they might be the same age as us, and they're growing up too, and it's like they're going through their own crap.
Idolize them.
I call myself, we idolize them for like that time of life that they start and that they grow in. But just like us, they are human beings too, and we all go through phases. And it's so like cool to see that you're stepping out of that, because I really do think from like your early 20s, just say like 20 to 24, 25, you really do kind of wear this mask and try to fake it and try to be this like really cool person. But deep down, this is the cool version of you.
Yeah,
this
definitely.
like being your true self is that cool version that we all fall in love with. Like seeing the true Steph, right? Seeing the true Tara. And that's what I love. Like, I don't care, you know, if you have the perfect clothes or if you have the perfect face. No. And it's like when I actually first met you and you thought the same with me, which is funny, when we moved in, we both kind of had this acknowledgement like, oh my God, you're actually really down to earth and you're really cool and like you're just so low key and don't give a fuck what other people think. And it's like, why do we try to feel like we have to be cool, popular, full face of makeup,
keep up with
perfect,
the Joneses.
Exactly. And so I love seeing the uncovered, the rawness, and you know, I was in my mid-20s when I started going into that phase of like wanting to, you know, love my true self and have the respect of others love that true version of me too.
Yeah, because what's more painful than being loved for something you're not?
Yeah.
Like
they don't actually love me.
Nothing is more painful because
this
you're
isn't
like,
me.
It just drives you deeper into hating yourself. Like I couldn't figure out why, as I was getting older and more mature in every other way,
why am I becoming more and more and more insecure and looking down on myself? And I realized it's because I have not let anyone recently in the last like few years since my longest relationship see the real me. And so my brain doesn't associate with her anymore. And it's like, nope, people only like this other version. And I think that's something I'd love to ask you guys too is, what are your thoughts on this statement? Because I used to think you had to first love yourself before you can find love. And now I really don't believe that. I think, of course, you have to love yourself, but I think others can help you realize that you are exceptionally lovable at every stage, at every mess, at every part of your day. I used to think that you had to love yourself first. And now I'm like, I think it's love is all around us, and we need it all in every vertical and every angle. Like we need it coming into us too, and not just coming from within. What do you guys think? Because that's like kind of controversial.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely relate to that to a T. I mean, my first real relationship wasn't until I was 23, 24 years old. Yeah.
Dang, Mama.
Yeah, I know. I'm a spring chicken. Yeah, so I kind of felt the same way. Like I never really had a true relationship. Like, yeah, I've seen people and talked to people, but I never really let it go that long. Like, I swear, if it made it past like 2 months, it was like, whoa. And I think it also was with like, I'll go back to like college, for example. I thought it was like, oh, I'm independent, I don't need no man. But, it was from a place of like two things. I definitely didn't love myself then. And I didn't think anybody could love me if I didn't love myself. And I was, again, so insecure in who I was. I was so insecure in my body. I didn't know what love was or how to express love at that time. And then also I'm very picky with who I let into my space. And I've always been told that, like, Ashley, you're so picky, you have such high standards. But I'm very proud of that. And so I don't let just anybody into my life. Like, I truly, like, want it to be meaningful when I do give my time to somebody, because I do think it's valuable. But I agree. Like, I thought for so long that how can anybody love me if I don't love myself? And I really do think that, my ex, my past relationship, really helped me in my self-love journey. Like, he came along right as I started like my new health and fitness and self-love journey that I was on. And it just happened to be the perfect timing, because as I was doing the things for myself, like the affirmations and the gratitudes and, those little self-love practices do really work. And I would write every single day in a journal or sticky notes and put them on my mirror. Every day I would write the 3 sentences: I am strong, I am beautiful, and I am enough. And those 3 things I truly didn't believe that I was until I did. And so I do think those little practices, or every day writing down what you're grateful for, and I would, always express how grateful I am for my body, how grateful I am for my health, how grateful I am for just like having the capacity to love and to be loved. And you truly do start to believe the things that you start to write down and manifest. And so I do think, though, he really did help me, because he showed me I am capable of love in my truest self. Like, he saw me from morning to nighttime, like before I put makeup on to when I took makeup off. He saw like the true, most authentic, vulnerable sides of me, and he still loved me. And, I probably should go thank him. As,
Shout out to
luckily he's still a really great person and, very important to me. But it's one of those things where he never made me feel not beautiful, and it helped me feel more beautiful on my journey. So I do think that like it does come full circle. Having yourself put yourself out there, even if you don't believe it at the time, because that love that someone else can give you and nurture with you would help as well.
Yeah, it's all about that self-talk.
Yeah.
Just like what you're feeding your mind with and your heart and soul with. It's so important. What you like say to yourself every day, and just like how you view yourself is really important too.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't know. I feel like I have a different spin on this.
Let's hear it. I love that.
I've been around the block. In my time, I'm about to turn 30 very soon.
Woo! Big dirty 30. Woo!
And yeah, very excited for that actually. But I don't know. I feel like I never fit in growing up. So I was always seeking external validation.
Wait, did we turn the Wi-Fi off?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
God.
it's unplugged. Yeah,
Because
fried
we're
our
gonna break
Wi-Fi.
the internet.
We literally broke the internet.
I don't know what I was saying.
You said you were saying always seeking external validation.
Always seeking external validation, and that was something that I like needed to know that I was okay and that I was beautiful. So I feel like recently, because I just started seeking therapy, like I don't even remember when I started, probably like springtime or something, but I've been doing a lot of internal work and it's been really helpful. And I actually organically met someone with no makeup on my face, like, what does Drake say?
Sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on.
That's when you're the
Yeah.
prettiest. I hope you don't get it wrong.
or something.
What he said, yeah. So literally that was me. And met someone and I was like, you can do this, you can do this. Let the wall down, because I would always have such a thick exterior that I was just like, no, like protective mode, just like, you've been hurt so many times, like you can't get hurt again. Like I was like so scared, but I would just like show up so strong, and there was a lot of masculine energy. Like I've always given off a lot of masculine energy in my relationships, which probably is why it didn't work out, because men don't like that.
No, they apparently don't.
They don't. So for me, it really was being able to love myself, and it did take the help of someone else to be able to also like be like, you know, this is okay. Like I'm safe now. I finally feel safe now. So for me, it kind of was a little bit of both.
I think it has to be both.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be both.
Yeah, you can't just rely on someone telling you you're beautiful. Like you do need to know
right.
that you are
have to have
beautiful.
both.
Totally.
You have to have
And
that confidence.
Yeah.
But I want to get that across, that I do believe it has to be both. Like not just someone else's love. I hope it didn't come
Totally.
across as it has to just come from someone else. But I do believe that love is a force and it's an energy, and of course you can create energy within, but you also, if you receive energy, you'll have even more. So it's kind of like, yes, you can do it yourself, but if you receive it as well and you're open to receiving love, like it's even stronger and more intense. And I also, for me personally, with my ex or others that I have let see the real me, it basically proves my delusion is that it's a delusion that I am not lovable. Like it proves that wrong, that I am not lovable. And for my brain, I need evidence, because sometimes I don't trust my intuition, and sometimes I am delusional. Like I truly thought the real Steph isn't lovable. And so when we allow others to see us beyond the shell, I feel like it proves that that delusion is just that. It's a delusion, and you are lovable at every stage of your life. I don't know.
And I think that's where one of the biggest issues with social media and the way that we're raised to look and idolize, for example, models or covers of magazines or, you know, people on TV and stuff. It's like they show us this like picture perfect person, yet if you actually look what goes beyond the photo shoot of a model, they're not perfect either. They've
No,
got
I've met them.
blemishes.
I'm like, you have pimples too?
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like they've got wrinkles, they've got blemishes. They're like, might not be all natural either. And it's like the amount of times you hear like men, you can correct me in the comments if you're watching, if you're wrong, but like they love natural beauty.
They do.
And, like one of our friends, Zach, was the sweetest thing. Like he always compliments us when we're like in our PJs, no makeup on, bun up to the hair.
Yep.
Like we were FaceTiming him the other day. He's like, wow, you look really good. I was like, because I look like a boy? And I caught myself and I'm like, no, I don't look like a boy.
Right.
I'm just my natural self right now. Like I don't have makeup on. I'm in a t-shirt. I'm like, just being like active or whatever. And it's like that truly means the world to me when a guy calls you beautiful or like tells you look good when you don't have any makeup on, when you're not trying. And it's like if we can all just like show up more in our authentic self and just like truly believe in our beauty.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you'd be
even
so much
beyond
happier.
makeup, like we've used makeup as an example throughout this podcast in like many different ways, but we mean everything beyond makeup too, and
Like,
just
not
like
just-
showing up as who you are. So, for you, it might be like saying your sarcastic, funny little jokes, and for you, it might be your dry humor, and like you have the best freaking jokes. Like I keep telling Tara she needs to do stand up, and for me, it's like not feeling embarrassed about you're going off on facts and about studies.
She's like, you're two sides of the spectrum.
I know.
You are so goofy.
I'm a robot or I'm goofy.
And then you're so scientific.
I know.
Fact check.
I know. Like I get into a tunnel, but
You're
think
so funny.
yeah, but just all of us to just not ever feel like, oh God, was I too much?
Yeah.
And as a woman, I feel like I feel that way a lot because I do have some of that masculine energy and some masculine traits of like making dirty jokes and just, like my brain just goes in different ways. Or sometimes I'm kind of like goofy and loud and
Be goofy, be loud,
yes,
be proud.
be all of that. And I do think like, yes, there are a lot of men that don't want that. They do want someone that is quiet and all this, and that's great, but like
not for you.
I don't know about you guys, I'm willing to start just shedding the layers, being myself, and I know that there's that 1% or 15, whatever it is, of men that love all of the combination of weird, quirky things that I am and that you all are too.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like guys do love that more. It's
I think
just
the guys
girls,
I would vibe with
At
do.
least
people don't
you
show
would-
that as
yeah.
often. So it's
Yeah.
like if you were to show that
Right.
true self,
Yeah.
like you would learn that guys actually do like that.
See, I
Because,
do
like
yeah.
you're fucking weird as hell.
Yeah,
and
we're
like,
super freaking
people are like, what's that girl doing?
Yeah.
She's kind of cool. Like,
It's
what?
a great
It's
way
like-
to weed out
Yeah.
the loser.
I was just gonna say,
like
no.
the ones I don't want.
I was just
Right.
gonna say
The ones
though,
that
it
aren't
really
real.
helps you attract the type of person you're trying to attract in.
Right.
Like so. Let's just say if you are trying to be superficial, you're going to attract a superficial person or somebody that wants a female superficial. Which nothing wrong if that's you. All power to you.
Yeah.
But if you're more of like, I want someone who's going to let loose, be goofy, not judge me for being quirky and weird and loud and proud and just sarcastic as fuck, then you're gonna attract that, and you're gonna start to weave out the people that don't match you. So why waste your time? And
100%.
and what you put out is what you get in.
100%. And
It's like baking a cake.
it is. It's all chemistry.
Yeah,
I will say though, like I'm proud of myself because I always have been goofy. Like I've always showed up as like weird and just expressing myself in just the most atrocious ways in a good way. But the one thing that I
beautiful ways.
I'm bad at self-talk. I mean, I'm great at
She's
self-talk.
working on it.
That was interesting. I will say though, and maybe we can finish with this, is like, in what way can we each show up a little bit more authentically?
Yeah.
So, do you want to start, actually?
Sure.
I feel like I just started really this past year stepping into that.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to think of what, because I'm like, you're getting me.
That's
like, you're
great.
getting like the full me.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
But I'm not perfect. There's
Yeah.
always ways that I could
Right.
be better. Like it's not
Yeah.
like
No, but you're really
you know, but I'm like,
leaning
Yeah.
this is me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you like it,
Are you
great.
Yeah.
You don't, bye.
Okay. I would say, for myself, the way I'm showing up authentically, I guess it could be around like, it's kind of hard because I do feel I am so much more comfortable being myself, especially like over the past like couple of years. I've really grown into like my character and who I am, and I feel like I do a good job showing up that way, but I still get a little timid around some people. And I will say, and I think it's more just like an energy thing. I'm very much an energy person, so when I feel someone not giving me their full authentic or self, and they have a bunch of layers, then I start to put layers up. And I'm very much an open book and an open person. So if I feel very comfortable around you, I'll just be like all up in your face.
Me too.
So I think for me, it's like I want to break past that barrier of feeling like a chameleon almost, and just always trying to match someone's energy, because in the end of it, I feel like that might be stopping me from being my true authentic self. So just working on whether that person matches my energy or not. I want them to see like, hey, this is me. You might not be as loud and crazy as I am, but like, this is what I am.
That was, yeah. Felt that.
Should we drop the balls?
Drop the balls. I felt that so hard. I feel like I'm such a chameleon as well.
She's
to
like,
where
"Hey."
I'm turning into Ashley. Oh my gosh.
the wine.
Exactly, I'm a chameleon. But I truly feel like I shift my energy as well to match someone else so that they don't feel uncomfortable, but it's like, then I feel uncomfortable. So what's the point? But I also think I've done a good job most of my life being goofy in front of guys, still making jokes. I still say inappropriate things. They're probably like, what the hell? But a lot of them laugh, so it's great. But the one thing that I have really repressed is I am so afraid of them thinking I'm smart, because that hasn't worked out in the past. And when I look back, it's like the type of guys I was dating, to where they were very alpha and they had to be,
They're insecure.
they
as
had
fuck.
to teach me.
Yeah.
Like I could never make them feel small. And so I learned in my early 20s, like, oh God, don't emasculate a man. Don't say too much. Don't share too many facts. Don't talk about science. Like, don't make them feel small. And so that's something that, like, you girls know, the men that I have seen in the last 6 months, like, I got to the point where I was like, what am I doing? Like, these people are making me feel small. And that's not who I am. Like, I don't want to feel small. I don't want to put myself in a box. Moral of it is just that I don't want to make myself feel small to make someone else feel big. And that is something that happened in my past relationship. And that's something that I'm really like hyper vigilant about now when I meet someone is, do they look up to me? Can they learn from me too? And I think as a woman that can be hard sometimes, is allowing someone to see that you have opinions too. You have a voice too. And if they do feel small and they get insecure and they take that out on you, like that's not someone you want to be with. So yeah, that's my piece.
Don't ever dim your shine, ladies.
Yes,
Ever.
be bright.
Ever.
Be
Yeah.
bright.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
It's
shine
true.
bright like a lady
Or a disco ball.
Alrighty. Well, on that note, guys, this was such a great episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we're going to definitely be uncovering a lot more on the self-love topics. So definitely keep watching and share the love. And I guess like if you're feeling a little ballsy, join us in the comments below. What is something that you would love to show up more in your authentic self as?
Yeah, what
We
would
wanna
you
know.
do to
Yeah.
show up more authentically? Because it's hard.
Yeah.
But also like and subscribe and share with all of your friends because we appreciate it.
You know what to do.
You know what to
Cheers,
do.
baddies.
Cheers.